So this is the wife's YJ. We are getting ready to do a lift kit on it. She has just purchased a 4-inch from Rough Country. Full kit, lift springs, shocks, hardware, skid plate drop bracket, new U-bolts, all that fun stuff. Pretty complete, good looking kit so far. We'll see how it installs. We're probably going to start with dropping the U-bolts, then onto the hangers. It's already jacked up and the suspension relaxed. One of the benefits of having a leaf sprung Jeep is pretty simple cut and dry kit. So let's get to it. All right. So to start off, like we mentioned before, we're going to go ahead and take off the U-bolts. And next we'll move on to the hangers. That guy there, one up front. Just go through a little wiggle and come right out. Now we'll go to the other side. And of course I didn't jack it up enough. So we're going to time lapse this. Same thing with this side. On to the next thing. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure that this thing comes with new hangers. I'm going to just assume that it doesn't until I get and look through the parts list and drop it here. A girl can dream. Get the hammer. Those are stubborn. That is interesting. It is without a doubt seized into the sleeve. Much better. There we go. Just like that. First leaf's down. And I did bring a handy dandy punch so I can get it stuck when I knock the bolt out. It's my favorite. All right, that's 2 springs down. So we're going to go ahead and move to the back. Do the same thing back there. All right. It is in fact a 7/8. All right. That's 2 leaf springs out. All right. So before I got too carried away, This is a very common problem when removing these old leaf springs from these old Jeeps. This is the inner sleeve that goes through the leaf spring, and these bolts will seize just about weld to the bolt right here. Now, your first instinct is going to be, I'll just cut it off and I'll use the bolt hardware that comes in the kit. Check before you do that, because that kit, thank God I looked at it before I did this. It's getting ready to come at it with a torch, cut it off, throw the new bolt in there. They don't have new bolts. So, with that said, make sure you have hardware to replace this with, which I do. I went to my bin and I had just done a softer set of springs on this not too long ago, so I had its original bolts. Make sure you get the hardware before you cut it, because this kit does not come with new shackles or hardwares for it. So now I'm going to cut, because I know that I can get these things out of here, save the shackle, put it with my new hardware. Okay, so you just saw that little bit of torching I did. That was to save that hardware. As I told you before, check your hardware before you cut anything, because I've done that to myself more times than I can count. And that kit did not come with the bolts I was getting ready to cut. I did find in my own personal hardware some bolts off of another lift pit I had done. After verifying that I had them, then I cut the bolts. Otherwise, you're going to end up locking yourself up waiting on parts. If you're like us, the closest parts store is about 30, 45 minutes away. And it could really shut down a whole project right when you're getting rolling. So just check that stuff before you make any cuts. With that said, the old springs are still right there on the ground. We're going to pull those out. Over here next to Noel, we got the new set. We're just going to slide them in, and it's going to be reverse what I just did. Just imagine what we did, but backwards, and those springs will be in. You ready to put in some springs? Okay. This has shims for the front, I assume, right? It does not. It does. Check these out. Those are rear. Oh, that's what I was wondering. So those for the rear then? Yeah, they're marked rear. He got off work, so he's got a little bit of time. He's going to give me a hand here. We're putting those two new springs, the front ones, in here. We just took these out. These are the olds. Get these out of the way. The new mic they're ambidextrous, but pluses to the rear. The shims are on the rear axle. The angles. Okay. So right here, rear spring 4-inch YJ, rear spring 4-inch YJ. Oh, so they already corrected the axle angle. How big is this one? This is a 4-inch lift. Oh, okay. So we're going to need U-bolt. We reuse the bolts you're going to put in, and then I'll pull out the new U-bolts. None of those. Oh, so what goes through the bushings is still. We have to use the same. Yes. Oh, okay. I didn't hammer. Maybe if I hit it harder. That's exactly where I went. I was like, well, I'll just hit it harder. It's got to go. Problem's obviously I'm not hitting it hard enough. I didn't buy it. Because it's fun. We're having fun. We're having fun. Did you flip this spring? Because that looks like a small hole. Give me big hole. Flipsies. I don't want to be a mechanic anymore. I said I was done being a mechanic. Put some arm fat under that jack tire. Here, run it over. Damn, I did that bolt backwards. No, thank you. Could have ended your life. That one in? Yeah, but let me, hold on. I got to take the top bolt back out. Why though? Because it's not side out and they're inverted. What's getting me, I'm hoping that thing's tighter or something, because that 2.5 is sitting at the same level. See how the tire is perfectly there and I'm already bolted up? Yeah, they're up in the air though. When you drop them down, they're going to squat. You're screwing with my afternoon. Where the nuts on the inside? Is that wise to do by your steering box, or do you want it to the outside? Well, that one's not going to move. That's stationary. All right. Yeah. Okay. So you have a fat U-bolt and a skinny U-bolt, and the fat U-bolt's going to go over the housing. You're a fat U-bolt. I know. All right. So I don't know if it's the nylon ones or they're all nylon ones. Okay. Okay, these are U-bolts. Okay. Tight. Nope, I'm going to leave it very loose. I think you're only going to pick up one side of the Jeep like that. Or is that what you're wanting to do? Watch your head. Where's all your 7/8 components? Over here on the passenger side behind the passenger wheel. Alright, so that's new ride height. It looks good. That did flatten out, but now I can't get under the damn 3/4 range. It's amazing how a 4-inch on a Jeep looks like a 6-inch. Yeah. What is yours on your CJ? Mine's a 4.5, and it finally settled. But when I first put it on, I measured it, and it was almost 6.5. But yeah, that's a good looking ride height. So with the front sitting on the springs, it's going to be just a bunch of track bar relocation stuff. We'll get into that, but we'll probably do the rear springs next. I'm going home and going to bed. And we're going to be going home. We'll pick this up tomorrow. All right, so it's the next morning. The front's sitting on its own weight right now. That's the lift. We still got other things to do, like the track bar relocation. We're going to kind of wing that and see what we are and aren't going to change, because this Jeep had a lift kit previously, and it's got a lot of new parts still under it that may not need to be adjusted, like the pitman arm. If it's already got a drop pitman arm in it, we're obviously not going to do that. It's just a pain in the butt. If it's already in, there's no sense in changing it. We're going to do the rear today. It's just going to be simply dropping a couple leaves, probably the shocks. This thing's got a rear track bar on it. I want to kind of do away with that, give it a little bit more flex, because this thing does not flex at all. And doing away with that's this is a great opportunity to do it. We won't have to relocate the track bar if it's not there. So we'll get started. Well, you're going to want a battery kill for this thing anyways. Are we going to do the exterior battery kills on these things? So if we go to Wheat Rock, isn't that a requirement? Yeah. I want to find a place where I will not hit it with something. But like, you can't go low because it'll get wet. If you go high, somebody's going to hit it. Their requirements are it has to be within reach, somewhere like up on the firewall or something dumb like that from the outside. I want to say the Wranglers and everything, they put them all back. Yeah, there. I can't put mine back here because the kids are going to go, ooh, red button, right when we're going up a hill. Right. Right off the bat. I'm too fat for those. This thing's way up in the air. I got that one because it is low profile. Yeah. If you look at it, it's almost on the ground. You're only an inch higher than you would be without it. When we do any project, what we do to start out with, especially when there's two of us, we'll leave one guy on his feet. Don't have him climb under with you, because somebody's got to get up and down and get all the tools. You have one guy start pulling things off. He calls for tools. He'll bring them all over to me. And then once we get enough to take one side loose, we know we have everything that we need to get the other side off and get everything back in. Then you bring your help and get under. It saves an awful lot of up and down. Well, I'm going to need we'll go ahead and get started. Start with a 1/2-inch gun, 3/4 socket, 3/4 wrench, and start with that. And on the 3/4 socket, a shallow and a deep. And the track bar is going to go away? Yes. Okay. I'll work the driver's side if you want to work the passenger side. Or no, you know what? Not driver, passenger, front and back. So that way we don't have to duck the axle. You take the front, I'll take the back. Okay. I got stands on my side, so.
And a charged battery for this thing.
It's not charged?
Nope.
It's short-handled one, but...
Okay.
I was gonna say drop the shocks first though so it doesn't swing weird.
Hold on. Oh my god.
Got my long handle ratchet, but how many times it take us to do all that?
Get the torch.
Yeah.
You turn the gas on?
Yeah. You're shoving it for weight console and then come back.
I'm blowing it to you, watch yourself. Get out of the way and blow it towards me. Get underneath you?
It's in my armpit.
Oh, good.
Still in there.
That's a good spot for it. It sizzles the armpit there. I mean, honestly, what other bolts do you have that we're getting new? Because can we just keep going with this?
Right.
All right, that's all the U-bolts are cut. And they probably would have come off with some penetrating oil and some love, but that's just silliness that we don't have patience for. Oh, that one? Because you're wrapped around the brake line.
I'd probably pull the shocks first. They're already completely extended, so it's going to swing weird and do dumb shit.
Could have said something before I jammed this up in there.
I did. It was literally the first thing I said. Let's do the shocks before we even cut the U-bolt. I was going to say drop the shocks first though so it doesn't swing weird.
Hold on.
See, I did say that.
You should have taken into the account that I don't listen to shit you say.
Right.
See the track mark? Ooh, did I get you?
Nope. I think we reuse the same hanger, so you just leave that side in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this was up here like so. Pulled it off. There's not enough room between there and the fuel tank to get that bolt out that way and drop that spring. Since we've already got it disconnected down here at the axle, we'll pull the other side off, and we're just going to slide this whole leaf spring out that direction, leave the bolts in place.
And that's if that bolt's not seized, and they historically have been.
Maniac on the floor, and I'm dancing like I've never danced before.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
Are you handing me springs?
Yep. This one goes in like so. he said, before it doesn't go in that like so. Bolt. There it is. You gonna need a stretch? Yep, there. Oh, yours is right in front of that tire. Okay. Mommy, I haven't tightened on the back shackle yet. You want 3/4? No, I'm not gonna tighten it just yet. I want to get this guy. So what I'm gonna do is, I might be able to do it all myself. Let me see. So you gotta be quick. Why don't you just use your lineup bar? Because then I have to pull it out and put this in. Here, my upside down face. Just do exactly what you're doing, but a little less stupid. That's what the problem was. Coming down. I'm going to drop it a little hard because I want it to knock those shackles back. Okay. Ready? All right, so pardon the noise of the fan. It got a little warm in this shop. We're doing the front shocks right now. That's pretty much going to be it for our lift kit. Get these knocked out and kind of roll it out. We won't be able to drive it because the tie rod end are screwed up on this thing. We're still waiting on parts for that, but we'll have the lift complete and be rolling it out here in a second. All right, so we just got done with the lift kit. It was pretty much just a set of springs and shocks. It's a YJ, so it makes it a little bit easier. The relocation brackets and whatnot, we didn't use a lot of those because we're not going to use the track bars front or rear. This thing's always been really limited with its articulation, so by eliminating those, there's a lot of the kit that we're not going to utilize. It already had a drop pitman arm bracket from the previous lift, which is the exact same part number that's in the kit over there. So you're looking at a set of springs and shocks. We'll call it a lift kit. And this is the end result. It is a 4-inch rough country lift on 32 1150s. We're probably going to try to sneak some 33s or some 35s under there, but for right now, I think we got plenty of room to articulate. I'm hoping it's gotten a lot softer with the removal of the track bars once we get the steering arm that I broke last time we were out, and we will go and test that, and you'll probably see that on another video, if not this one. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for watching.